Oak Bay, Gordon Head.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I thank the member from Prince George Valemount for putting forward the amendment. I also wish to thank her sincerely for providing me with information, including a copy of the MMK Consulting Report, Building BC's Brand and Assessment of the International Business Activity Program. I have sought 2 briefings on this particular section of the bill out of concern, as expressed by the member from Prince George Valemount and others on opposition side, with respect to what are the unforeseen consequences or the unintended consequences of perhaps cutting this program. I will say also I do commend the present CEO of the program, who has clearly taken steps since a previous review to get it on its right track. But if we come, in speaking to the amendment, back to the history, this program, the International Business Activity Program, was actually brought forth in 1988 at a time when the corporate tax rate, combined province and federally here in British Columbia, was over 50%. At the time, and the rationale for bringing it in was that in British Columbia we are not competitive with other jurisdictions in terms of the international in terms of the corporate tax rate. Now, Honourable Speaker, as of January 2018, the corporate Canada plus BC tax rate will be 23%. Corporate tax rate has come down 23% since the introduction of this program. If we look very recently in terms of what this program is being used at, I have in the briefings that I've sought to get to the full details here, I understand that in terms of what's using it, factoring contributes about 29%, dealing in securities about 28%, foreign exchange about 33%, and other issues such as with the film industry, et cetera, 10% of the usage. Now, the issue of factoring is an interesting one. What it allows to occur, for example, is British Columbia, because it's done in a non-arm's length fashion, is you can set up in a non-arm's length fashion businesses in other jurisdictions. For example, if I'm a business, I can trade amongst myself by setting up a corporation in America, say, and have a company in Canada, and I can go back and forth between myself and take advantage of the tax credits in this program, when really all I'm doing is taking advantage of something that is finding a means and ways of taking advantage of a specific tax break. Where it gets particularly egregious, Honourable Speaker, this is the 33% that comes in with foreign exchange, and I'd like to give it a specific example. Let's suppose that I would like to loan you $100 million US, and in order of doing that, or I'm going to not loan you, find you $100 million US as capital, so you're going to get access to it. There may be, say, a 5%, say, or 3% commission attached with that. Well, now, if I'm registered in this, I can go and get the taxpayer, the BC taxpayer, to give me a 12% tax credit on that 3% commission. Now, the problem here is that's just not right. Why should the BC taxpayer, and this is 33% of the business model within this International Business Activity Program, 1/3 of all the activity, involves foreign exchange. And any service fee associated with the getting money from somewhere, and it just has to be the money. It doesn't have to come from another jurisdiction. If it's another foreign currency, it's eligible for the money. 1/3 of the business model, and you get a 12% tax credit. The BC taxpayer is subsidizing those who don't need a subsidy just for the commission. It's just wrong, Honourable Speaker. I can't see any justification for that. You know, I've looked at this in detail. I understand that this report is a thoughtful report by MMK Consulting. Unfortunately, this is only relied upon unaudited statements. It's only relied upon interviews and pre-audited fees were looked at. That is the information that was used. That's my understanding. And the claim of 7,800 jobs that was embedded in this report is actually based on a large number of assumptions a large number of assumptions that I think could be challenged by civil service and government if the actual income tax reporting data were available. I'm not saying that this isn't a thorough report, but I'm saying the analysis in this report did not have the actual data, the income tax data, that would allow it to make not accurate, exact or precise assessments of jobs and income. And it's with that that I took this very seriously, Honourable Speaker. I took the suggestion of the member from Prince George Valemount very, very seriously. It was not until the second extensive briefing from the civil service. I'm very grateful to the minister and the staff, the civil service, who have provided me with this briefing. It is only after extensive briefing that I must say now that I support the rationale here in recognition of the good work done by the present CEO, and I cannot support this amendment. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Minister of Finance.